Hey guys, it's Landon Blake with Redefined Horizons and LandonBlake.com. And what I wanted to do in this video is show you guys how to get the Spyder IDE for Python set up for unit testing and specifically for viewing the results of your unit testing in a graphical user interface. So I come from a Java programming background, and I used JUnit in Eclipse and got really addicted to the little graphical test runner. So this is the unit testing plugin for Spyder that shows you the graphical results. Is super helpful for me. You don't need to do this if you're comfortable reading your test results in the shell output. Okay, so to get started, the first thing you got to do is install the plugin. So here is the web page for the plugin. I will try and remember to put a link to this in the description for this video on YouTube. But I'm using WinPython, so I'm going to use pip to install. So let me show you how to do that. Oop. So you want to browse to your WinPython folder, which for me is on my C drive here. And then you're going to open up the Windows command prompt, and you're going to run this command. Okay, so you're going to type pip install Spyder unit test. Okay, now it's going to tell me I already have it installed, but I wanted to show you guys how you do that. Okay, so you're only going to do that the way I did it if you're running Spyder out of WinPython, right? Which is what I recommend when you get started. Okay, so we've got the plugin installed. Now, the way you're going to be able to tell if the plugin installs is when you come to run here, you're going to have a new menu item called Run Unit Tests. Okay, and I think you have to restart Spyder to get that to happen. So if the plugin installed successfully, you'll see Run Unit Tests here under the Run menu. Now, I tripped around a little bit because I had a test in my source code file, and I kept running the tests and nothing would show up. Okay, so there's a little more to it than that. So I wanted to explain. And again, I'm not a super experienced Python developer, so that's part of the reason why I had a hard time with this. So I just have a Python file here called temp.py. It's got this little function that adds three numbers together, and I just wanted to have a test for that. So what you have to do is you have to put your test in a separate file. Okay, so let's go ahead and open that. So I've got my temp file with my little function, and then I just made a file called test.temp. Okay, and it's really important that test go at the beginning or the end of the Python file with your unit test in it, or the test runner that's being used by Spyder won't find your tests. Okay, and that was part of the problem I have. So you can see here I've got this test. Def test add numbers, and then I'm calling that function. Okay, and then I have an assertion here to see if I'm getting the right value. So just as a quick note, because because the method I want to test, the function I want to test is in a separate file, it's in temp.py, I have to import temp here at the beginning. Okay, and then I have to add temp, the module name, as a prefix to the function call here, add numbers. Okay, so you can see I did that. Okay, and then I have my assertion here. If the assertion fails, the test will fail. So you can see I'm adding 3, 4, and 5, which is 12, not 10. So when I run the test, I get a message that fails here. I get a test that fails. Okay, and it shows up red, and it gives you the test output here. Okay, so let's just change this to a test that pass. So I'm going to make that 12. And we'll save this, and now we're going to run the test. Before we do that, it helps if you set your working directory to the folder that contains your tests. So I'm going to do that. I just have this hanging out in my downloads folder for now. Okay, then you're going to come to the run menu, run unit tests. It's going to ask you to pick your test framework. I've been using PyTest. Okay, and then you can, if you don't set your working directory here, you browse to the directory. This is going to be the folder that has your test.py file in it that contains your tests. You hit OK. You can see here it says running tests, and then it says no results to show. Okay, so I don't know if that's, I don't think that's what we wanted. So let's see what I missed here. let's make this a failing test again and see if it shows up. So we're going to say run unit test. It's running the test. Yeah, okay, so I've got something goofed up here, so let me figure out what's going on. Okay guys, sorry about that. So even though I had my working directory set, my test results weren't coming up because when I ran my test, I didn't have the right folder set still. So once you've run it once, it's going to keep running with that same configuration. So if you want to reset your folder, you come in here on the test runner GUI and hit configure, and then I had to pick the right folder here. So once I did that, then you can run the test and come over here. You can hit that button to run the test, and you can see now both my tests are failing. And I added a test here in an attempt to figure out what was going on. So let's go ahead and set these now. I'm going to have one test that passes and one that fails. And let's try this again. So we just come over here, hit play. Okay, so now you can see the first test is green and the second test is red. So if we want to make this also a passing test, I can put the right value in there. Save that, run the test again. And now we got 2 passing tests. All right, so that's what we want. We want a list of green here for all our tests. Now you guys know how to unit test in Spyder with a graphical user interface for the test results on Microsoft Windows. Appreciate you watching and being patient with me as I stumbled through that a little bit. You can tell I'm still getting my feet under me with Python programming, but we'll do some more of these videos for you guys.